a long, long time ago, before anybody watching this was born. California used to look different than it does today. Dinosaurs roamed the land. There were volcanoes and jungles. There were even more volcanoes than there were today. Scientists believe a comet killed the dinosaurs by hitting the earth. You cannot find dinosaurs anymore, except you can find their fossils. Then there were the Native Americans. The Native Americans came by a small piece of land connecting Asia to Alaska. This land is underwater now, and you cannot find it. They made their way down to California, and they built their houses. They made spears for hunting. They had needles for sewing, and their houses were made mostly out of sticks and animal hide. Then there were the European explorers. They came up the coast of California. They had little contact with the Native Americans who lived at California. They traded with the Indians and got food and water, and they even repaired their ships. Life changed for the Indians in 1697. The Spanish arrived. Then California began to colonize. The Spanish built missions to convert Indian souls. The Indians ran away from the missions because they did not like the Catholics' culture. In 1821, the Mexican arrived and built ranchos. At the ranchos, there were lots of animals. There were sheep, horses, dogs, ducks, pigs, cows, more horses, sheep, goats, chickens, and some more dogs. There weren't that many people running the ranchos, because it didn't take that many people to run them. In 1848, gold was found at Sutter's Mill. One of the men who worked there was just walking by, and then he found gold. He tried to keep it a secret with Mr. Sutter, but word came out, and it began the gold rush. Then California became a state. There was the Transcontinental Railroad, which part of it was built by the Chinese immigrants. The railroad was invested by the Big Four. It was hard for the Chinese to build these because they had to blast ledges, which was very dangerous. San Francisco began to grow, and when I say grow, I mean grow. It was growing so big because of the gold rush. People came all over the world to seek their fortune. Bankers, tailors, bakers, miners, and other stuff like that. It was so big that wherever you looked, you would see a building. A terrible earthquake happened in 1906. It was so bad that it destroyed most of the pipes in the city. The fires were very bad that the firemen couldn't put the fires out. The fires destroyed more buildings than the earthquake did. Meanwhile, in Southern California, it was growing too. They were very dry, so they needed an aqueduct. So they decided to build an aqueduct in 1911. The aqueduct went from the Owens Valley to Los Angeles.
Charlie, you didn't move the equipment. That's coming out of your paycheck.
The water allowed a lot more agriculture and growth. Farming and the city of Los Angeles grew because of the aqueduct. In the 30s, a great drought hit the Midwest. Many farms failed. Poor farmers decided to move to California to try and regain their lives. It was tough in California too. In the late 30s, World War II began. California helped to support the war effort by building equipment and arms, and helping to support the soldiers. After the war, the race for space began. California helped to build and develop many aerospace vehicles, including the Space Shuttle and the B-2 bomber and the C-17. I don't know about politicians like Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, but I know this next guy. Terminator, aka Arnold Schwarzenegger, current governor of California. Who knows what's next?